Picture this. You're the brightest star in Hollywood. Lights blazing. The world cheering your name, but backstage, in a quiet corner, you're huddled up, clutching an old jacket, flipping through a blank diary just to find a torn family photo. That was Corey Haim, the golden kid of the 1980s, who had it all, that killer smile in The Lost Boys, a tight bond with Corey Feldman, and a dream his mom, Judy, painted for him. So why, at 38, did he die alone in a tiny apartment, surrounded by pill bottles and a secret nobody dared speak? Did Hollywood swallow him whole, or did Judy, Feldman, and the people he called family betray him? A crumpled letter, whispers of abuse, and a death full of questions. Was it an accident, or a plot buried in the shadows? Let me tell you the heartbreaking story of Corey Haim, where the glow of fame only hid wounds that never healed. You ready to step into that darkness? Chapter 1. Corey Haim hits the stage, and the tragedy begins. Hollywood crowned Corey Haim the Golden Kid, but at a 1984 rap party, at just 12, he sat curled up in a corner, tears blending with the thumping music. His newly divorced parents danced with strangers, leaving Corey with a torn family photo in his wallet. The world saw a rising star, but inside, he whispered, "I just want to be normal." The stage lights dazzled, but his shadow clung to the wings where the first wounds were waiting. Back in Toronto, Corey grew up shy, more into hockey than fame. His mom, Judy, pushed him into acting classes to fix his timidity. He'd stand behind his sister Carol, watching her flub auditions, gripping a small diary where he wrote, "I don't want to be famous." Once, he begged, "Mom, I want to go home. The stage scares me." But Judy, eyes gleaming with Hollywood dreams, said, "You have to do this for the family." Corey bowed his head, hiding the diary, but a spark of trust faded from his eyes. Producers spotted him, those big eyes and shy smile. They pulled him onto stages, lights so bright he didn't dare blink. At 10, he did commercials, then landed a role in a TV show about brainy kids. He acted naturally, like he was born for the camera. But after every great job from the director, Corey searched the crowd for Judy, as if asking, "Did I do it right one night?" He showed her his diary, pointing to a line, "I'm scared of the lights." Judy skimmed it, smiled, and said, "You'll get used to it." Corey hugged the diary tighter, feeling the chill of the shadows backstage. At 13, he hit Hollywood, starring in a movie about a broken family. The set lights blazed, but he felt alone. He told a crew member, "I don't belong here." Judy stood behind him, urging, "Smile. You're a star." Success hit like a whirlwind. Corey accepted an award, hands shaking, smile forced, as the room clapped. All he wanted was to run back to Toronto, where nobody cheered, in a 1986 role. He moved audiences, but after each take, he sat alone, taping that torn family photo back together. A critic wrote, "Corey Haim pours his heart into his roles, but that heart, he felt, was cracking." He scribbled, "The lights blind me. Mom doesn't see the darkness in me." Corey didn't get why people loved him. He feared the lights. But the shadows backstage scared him more, where Judy saw only fame, not his fear. The kid on the posters grinned brightly. But outside the theater, he clutched his diary, whispering, "I don't want to be famous." What do you think was waiting for Corey in those dark wings? Chapter 2, Fatal Wounds under the stage lights on the 1984 set of Firstborn. 13-year-old Corey Haim stood before Peter Weller, a seasoned actor, with kid-like awe. Corey said, "You're awesome, but Weller," deep in his abusive stepdad role, grabbed Corey's collar, slammed him against a wall, and growled, "Don't ever talk to me." 3 crew members jumped in to stop it. Weller apologized, claiming he was in character. But Corey's eyes changed. He retreated to a corner, clutching his small diary, the one that held his dreams of a normal life. He wrote, shakily, "What did I do wrong?" He tore the page but taped it back like he couldn't let go of the pain. That night, Corey sat curled up, his old jacket wrapped around him like a shield. He started fearing adult stares directors. Actors. Even Judy. What do they want from me, he wondered, hands trembling as he touched the torn family photo in his wallet. Hollywood, once a dream, now felt like a maze of traps. But the lights kept calling, and Corey, though terrified, stepped forward. In 1986, on the Lucas set, a deeper shadow fell. A close friend later revealed Corey endured something unspeakable, a wound that made him avoid eye contact. Whispers pointed to Charlie Sheen, a big star then. Sheen denied everything. Judy blamed another actor, Dominic Brascia, a crew member said. Corey hid backstage, eyes red, jacket pulled over his face. He shied from touch, interviews, even Judy's gaze. Once, he wrote in his diary, "I want to forget, but it keeps coming back." He tore the page, taped it again, like the memory wouldn't leave. These wounds cut deep into Corey's soul. His smile lost its ease. Nights, he hugged that old jacket, like clinging to a lost piece of himself. "I'm not safe here," he whispered, unheard. The public hailed him as the Golden Kid, but nobody saw the boy shrinking under the lights. Corey asked himself, why did they hurt me? Why can't I tell? He kept acting, kept smiling, but each step on set was like walking on thorns. Hollywood shone bright, but Corey saw only the shadows backstage. He didn't refuse the lights, but beneath the makeup, something had changed and it never healed. What do you think awaited Corey? As that scared kid kept walking under the glare, Chapter 3, Can Friendship Beat Addiction? America called them the two Coreys, teen idols lighting up the silver screen. But in 1987, backstage, Corey Haim clutched a pill bottle, eyes glazed, whispering to Corey Feldman, "I don't feel anything anymore." The Lost Boys lights still dazzled, making them 1980s icons, their posters plastered teen bedrooms, but in the wings. Corey was slipping into darkness, gripping his old jacket like a last defense. Corey and Feldman were like brothers. On the Lost Boys set, they goofed off, racing through the lot, laughing under California sun. One afternoon, they sat in the director's chairs, munching fries, betting who'd get more fan mail. "You're toast." Haim Feldman chuckled, tossing a fry wrapper at him. Corey smirked, feeling, for the first time in months, a bit of lightness. I thought that glow would hold them forever, but it was fragile as a soap bubble. Then Corey vanished, mid-shoot on License to Drive. The crew couldn't find him. They found him in a makeup room bathtub, eyes wide, silent like a broken machine. His hands flipped through his diary, but he wrote nothing, just blank pages, like he'd run out of words. A crew member whispered, "He's not okay," but nobody dares ask. Corey had been hooked on drugs since 15, now swallowing dozens of Valium daily to erase painful memories. One night, in the set's parking lot, Corey and Feldman sat quietly. Feldman offered a soda. Corey didn't take it. "I can't control it. You know," Corey said, voice fading, "every pill. I lose a piece of me, and I like it." Feldman looked at him, wanting to speak, but just patted his shoulder. "Hang in there. You're a star." Those words, meant to help, cut like a blade. Corey pulled his jacket over his face, hiding from distant lights. At a photo shoot, he wore his jacket backward, like he was hiding from the glare or himself. Fame's spotlight blinded, but it left Corey lonelier. He dodged fans' gazes, handshakes, clinging to his blank diary. The public cheered the two Coreys, but he felt like Feldman's shadow. "I don't know who I am anymore," he whispered, taping that torn family photo back together. The pressure to keep a perfect smile crushed him, like stage lights that wouldn't let him blink. He kept acting, kept smiling, but each pill pulled him closer to the edge. Feldman stayed close, but his eyes were dimming too. Their posters still hung in teen rooms, but backstage, Corey was slipping away from himself. Nobody knew that moment was a point of no return. Do you think Fame's light could have held Corey? Or was the darkness too strong? Chapter 4, The Agony of Betrayal by Loved Ones. In a 2008 interview, Corey Haim forced a smile, voice raspy. "I still have family, I guess. Nobody noticed his hands twisting an old, crumpled letter, like he was waiting for a reply that never came. Corey once called Corey Feldman Judy, and manager Michael Bass his second family, people he trusted to shield him under Hollywood's glare. But in the shadows backstage, they turned away, one by one, leaving knife wounds in his heart. Feldman was Corey's rock. One night on the Lost Boys set, Corey whispered, "You're the only one I trust." But for 2 years after, no calls, no texts. Feldman knew Corey endured something unspeakable, but stayed silent. In 2008, on The Two Coreys show, Feldman aired Corey's traumas on TV without warning him. Corey watched, gripping his blank diary, eyes red. Did you use me for fame, he wondered, betrayal stinging like a cut. The public saw Feldman as a hero. Corey saw only his pain lit up by stage lights. Judy, who should have been his anchor, cut deeper. Corey once showed her his diary, pages scrawled with shaky fears. "Do you believe me, Mom?" he asked, voice breaking. Judy flipped through, silent, then said, "You shouldn't write that stuff down." Corey stood there, clutching his old jacket, like it could block her coldness. Later, when Corey's friend accused a major star of abusing him, Judy denied it, pointing at another actor. A crew member whispered. She knew something, but chose silence. Corey wrote, then tore out, "Mom doesn't see me, nobody does." Michael Bass, his manager, betrayed openly, a con man with a prison record. Bass used Corey to fund a mansion and fake charities. When Corey found out, he chased Bass with a BB gun, but Bass called the cops, getting Corey arrested. Later, a crumpled letter was found in Bass's things, reading, "He won't dare talk, I've got control." Nobody knew who it was for, but it felt like a piece of a bigger plot, buried in Hollywood's shadows. Each betrayal was a stab. Corey felt like a victim, but the public saw a junkie, alone. He flipped through that torn family photo, whispering, "I just want to be loved, Hollywood, family." Friends, they all abandoned him. A 1988 photo survives Corey. Judy, Feldman, all smiling. But Corey's the only one not facing the camera, like he knew that light would soon fade. Chapter 5. Self-Blame and Collapse. A Descent to Rock Bottom. One night in 1997, Corey Haim sat in a rundown Santa Monica apartment, dim streetlight filtering through the window. On the table was his blank diary. No words left, just that torn, faded family photo. "I ruined everything," he whispered, twisting his old jacket. Once a teen millionaire, now bankrupt, owing $375,000, with just $100 and a beat-up BMW. Fans who adored the two Coreys turned away, labeling him a has-been. Hollywood's light was out, leaving Corey in a darkness of self-blame. In the 1990s, Corey took straight-to-video roles, appearing in public with cloudy eyes, voice trembling from Valium. He tried selling his hair and teeth on eBay for cash, but the listings were yanked for rule violations. Once, he overdosed, lying unconscious, foaming at the mouth until Feldman saved him with activated charcoal. "Why didn't you let me go?" Corey asked, voice faint. Feldman said nothing, but his eyes seemed to say, "You're not worth saving." Corey hugged his jacket, wrote in his diary, then tore it out. "I'm a failure. They're right." The public judged him a Hollywood wreck. A headline read, "Corey Haim, from star to beggar." He read it, tears falling, whispering, "They don't know what I've been through," a neighbor said. Corey wandered alone, looking for friends, but got cold stares. He tried a comeback, filming without malice in Canada, but stayed hooked, on set. He paused shooting to call and check on his dog, the only thing he still loved. "Is he alive?" he asked, voice shaking, like he feared losing his last light. Corey lived in a tiny apartment with Judy, but felt caged in his own mind. He avoided mirrors, lights, clinging to that torn photo. "I deserve this," he told himself. Each pill a self-inflicted wound. He'd had it all, but now only had the shadows backstage, where nobody heard his screams. One night, he sat curled up, wrote in his diary, then tore it out. "I don't deserve love." Corey stood there, but his light was fading, like a candle in the wind. Nobody saw the hockey-loving kid vanishing into himself. Chapter 6. Final Despair, Last Days, and a Mysterious Death. In 2010, 38-year-old Corey Haim sat in a small San Fernando Valley apartment. Faint TV light hitting his gaunt face, his old jacket wrapped around him, his blank diary down to a few taped pages. "I'll be okay, Mom," he told Judy. But his voice was weak, like it was fading. Corey tried reviving his career with a bit part in Crank High Voltage, but his body was shot strokes from drugs, lungs weak from addiction. Hollywood's light was a memory, and darkness had taken over. A week before his death, Corey complained of flu symptoms. A doctor glanced at him, said, "Just a cold." Corey nodded, but clutched that torn family photo like it held his last hope. On March 10th, 2010, Judy heard a thud. Corey lay on the floor, unconscious, eyes wide. She screamed, called 911, but paramedics couldn't save him. He died of pneumonia, body wrecked by drugs, though not an overdose. A memorabilia auction company paid for his funeral. As Corey and Judy were nearly broke, Feldman, crying in an interview, said, "Corey just wanted to be with his mom, start over." But the darkness didn't let go. Feldman claimed a Hollywood wolf pack smeared victims like Corey. A tape from the Two Coreys producer hinted a big star hurt Corey, but nobody named names. A friend said, "Corey told me, I know too much, but nobody believes me." He wrote in his diary, "I'm tired, I just want to sleep." Corey lived his final days in despair, judged a loser. The public didn't see a victim, just a faded star, clutching his old jacket in the dark. Corey still tried to smile, but his eyes were dead. One night, he sat quietly, flipping through his diary, staring at that family photo like it held a lost light. Nobody knew then, but Corey had let go. His death was a final puzzle piece. But the picture stayed incomplete, hidden by secrets never spoken. Epilogue: A Legacy and Lingering Mysteries. Corey Haim stepped into Hollywood as a shy Toronto kid, became a dazzling star in The Lost Boys, but that light couldn't hold him. From glory, he fell into addiction, betrayed by Judy, Feldman, and manager Michael Bass. Each, wittingly or not, left a knife in his heart. Corey died at 38, alone in a small apartment, with just his old jacket and torn family photo. I see him on screen, that radiant smile, but his eyes always sad, like he foresaw the tragedy. Corey's legacy is a warning. He was a teen icon, with The Lost Boys and Lucas still alive in fans' hearts. His story, retold in 2017's A Tale of Two Coreys and 2020's My Truth, reminds us of fame's cost. Kids in showbiz need protection, mental health support, someone to listen when the lights go out. Feldman, in tears, said, "Cherish them while they're here." Those words ring like a bell through Hollywood's shadows. But the mystery remains unsolved. Allegations of abuse, Judy's denial of the truth, that crumpled letter in Bass's things he won't dare talk, hint at a bigger plot. Did Hollywood cover up to protect powerful names? A crew member whispered. Corey knew something, but couldn't speak. His blank diary, torn photo, old jacket, all clues left behind. But nobody's pieced the full picture. I think of Corey and The Lost Boys, that bright smile with sad eyes. He wasn't just a star, but a person forgotten, hurt by those he called family. I hope you'll share his story, so other Corey Haims don't suffer in the dark. Hollywood may forget him, but we won't. When the stage lights dim, Corey stands alone, clutching that family photo, trying to hold on to a light lost forever.